Welcome to another episode of Success Never Sleeps, sponsored by My Studio, Market Muscles, Kids Love Life Skills, and LC Accounting. Hey, Brannon Beliso here. You living your best life? It is Friday, October 30th, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time here on the West Coast. As you come aboard, say hello, put in your name, tell me where you're tuning in from, and share some more, because we're giving away some cool prizes at the end of today's broadcast, and you could be eligible to win if you do what? Share this live broadcast. First of all, I want to begin by thanking my sponsors. We got Market Muscles. We have My Studio, we have Kids Love Life Skills, and we have LC Accounting. All my sponsors giving me love, holding it down, and it's because of them that we're able to produce this show and offer it to you. All right, so who's here today? Let me know that you're here, folks. Put it in. All right, so it's been a crazy week, hasn't it? We got so much going on. We have, people opening. I just talked to my buddies in Sweden. They're being closed. Germany's being closed down for a month. And I see some of my clients in Germany pivoting hard back into virtual because they never stopped virtual through this whole pandemic. And that's been really cool. Your live volume stopped on my end, but it's there on Facebook. Cool. As long as I'm there, K1. So as you come aboard, let me know you're here. Let me know you're here so that we are here. We are live and everything is kicking. Yeah, I've got good volume on my side. I'm digging it. Cool. All right. So as I'm sharing, I got buddies all over the world and different things are happening, right? Different things are happening. I know they're closing down in Canada too, in certain areas. They've closed in France, they've closed in Germany. So we need to pay attention to that. If we're following suit from other countries, we may be getting closed back down as well. So what is my suggestion? My suggestion back in March, as it is now, make sure that you have virtual up, you have virtual running, virtual is strong, and that's something that you're going to continue because I do believe it is an additional revenue stream, and it's something we should be embracing, right? We should be embracing virtual as part of what we do. Hey, what's up, Jason? Make sure you share this to everybody from Indianapolis. How's everything going out there? Are you guys open? Are you halfway open? Is your school full? How are things kicking? I saw one guy today post, he's pre-pandemic numbers. How cool is that? His school is rocking it at like 350. Their numbers are higher than before the pandemic. So that's pretty cool to see that type. It gives us a lot of hope, as we're just reopening here in California, only been open for 2 weeks for live classes. But you know what? We're having our best months in both Millbrae and San Francisco since June when we did summer camps. Yeah, that's pretty good. And we probably maybe have between two locations, maybe 40 people coming in for live classes. So all these new students we're getting, I think we have close to 40 in Millbrae this month, new students, and San Francisco's like 20. And that's all virtual and outdoors. Believe it or not, it is all virtual. It is all outdoors. So our new ad campaign, I don't know if you've seen it running, but we're running virtual, indoor, outdoor, all in one ad. And the reason we chose to do that, even though I'm not a big advocate of cross-marketing, I really, really believe that we want to show our empathy for everybody's different comfort levels. There are people who are ready to come through the door right now. There are people who will only do outdoors, and there's only people that will do virtual. And I believe there are 3 different audiences. And in the state that we're going through here in California and San Francisco, we need all 3 audiences to keep our school sustainable and growing. Cool? So I want you to be mindful of that. And as I was speaking to my friends in Europe, I said, you guys, I hope you still got virtual in place. Some do. And they simply said, hey, now we're live at Zoom. That's all, right? We are not closing. Do not tell people you are closed again. And I'm seeing that everywhere. We got shut down again. Try to avoid that like the plague. Really focus on saying, hey, folks, we are open. We're just doing it at Zoom. Cool. So what do we got coming up next month, K1? We have It's Time Live Elevate, the virtual event. That's coming up November 14th and 15th. Can you pop that slide up there, K1? Where are you today there, sir? I'm not seeing this guy. K1, where you at? I want to show this in the stream because I want to zero in on this. We're doing It's Time Live Elevate, the virtual event, November 14th and 15th. That's happening here virtually, all virtual, okay? And it's my biggest event to date. It's my most ambitious event today because I really understand it's a mindset shift. I think the success that we've experienced in the 7-8 months we've been physically closed, but virtual outdoors, distance learning camps, very strict summer camps, the different things we've been doing, it's been mainly the mindset from leadership, through my team, through our culture, through our tribe, cultivating that positive, live your best life mindset has been crucial. And I do believe as we move into this brave new world with AI, 5G, and the different things coming down, if we don't leverage technology to the hilt, that we're going to be in a very challenging position. But make no mistake, people need human connectivity. And if I can do that virtually, more power to me. If the doors are open and people want to rush in because they need that love, they need that community, I want to be in that position too. If they want to be outdoors in the park, and that's how they want to connect, I want to be that too. But make no mistake, virtual is here to stay. My kids are still in school virtually. It looks like they're going to be that in January. And so here we are. People are doing meetings virtually. People are broadcasting virtually. This is now part of the brave new world, part of the new norm. And as much as so many people want it to go away, it will not. I grew up in a time where there were no personal computers. There were no cell phones. None of those things existed. Yet, I'm telling you, embrace technology for what it is, because it is going to be a big part of our life. Virtually. This is now part of the brave new world, part of the new norm. And as much as so many people want it to go away, it will not. I grew up in a time where there were no personal computers. There were no cell phones. None of those things existed. Yet, I'm telling you, embrace technology. Let's see if we can get my video back on. And where would I be? Yeah, my screen went black. I don't know why. Everybody hear me fine? Who knows? There you go. Technology, right? But we roll with the punches to get to what's real, in the words of the late, great Eddie Van Halen, right? From the group Van Halen. So we got Freedom Martial Arts. What's happening, man? Looking forward to It's Time Live Elevate. Thank you so much. We look forward to having you there. Jason, you want to share? We are currently hanging between our last stage and being reopened. Our governor has extended our mask mandate indefinitely. And in my networks, we are expecting another stay-at-home order. We set a goal to add 150 students by our cutoff this week, and we hit it. Wow. You added 150 students in how much time, Jason? Share that with me. To add 150 students, how long did it take you to do that? In 1 week? Yeah, I ain't sorry for the technical difficulties, man. I'm good with it. You just got to hold your own on that side. K1's got a delay in his house. We're currently in our last stage and being reopened. Okay, our governor's extended our mask mandate indefinitely, and in my networks, we are expected another stay-at-home order. We set a goal. Wow, that was from September, October. That's 75 students a month, sir. That's amazing. You've added 150 students in 2 months. Wow, that's freaking 75 students a month. You should tell us how you did that, sir, because that's pretty amazing. I'm impressed by that. I mean, that's amazing by any standards, let alone during a pandemic like this, right? Right? From September to October, November, 150 students. And I've been seeing and hearing numbers like that, and I think that's pretty cool. I think once you're open, people are hungry. People want to get back to life. So those numbers are coming back fast. Yeah, well, that doesn't matter how many lost, you're getting them back. How many of those 150, Jason, were old students returning? I think a lot of people that quit during this pandemic, we're going to see a lot of those numbers coming back. Or were those 150 brand new students, Jason? Were those 150 brand new students? And while we're doing that, Kim, throw up a question for me. Yeah, I mean, we've all lost students through this pandemic. I think the smaller schools will tell you that, we didn't lose that many. But hey, if I got 30 students to begin with and I lost 5, well, it's not so much a big deal. So this is coming from Alexander. What has been your biggest frustration when trying to juggle being an entrepreneur and having kids? Alex, it hasn't been an issue up until the pandemic. I was working 2 hours a week. I was traveling about 4 months out of the year, right? Speaking, teaching, doing things of that nature. During the shelter in place, I've spent dinner every night with my family. That time, my family is my priority, and I will sacrifice money. I will sacrifice advancement in my career. I will sacrifice all of it because I can't look at my daughter when she's 12 and say, please be 9 again. This time is what it is. So pandemic or not, my values are still the same. My priorities are still the same, Alexander. And that is always going to be my family first. Cool? And with this pandemic, I think all it's taught me, being able to do movie night, game night, having dinner with my family most nights until recently when I started teaching more out of need. But I still see them every night. They come here, we hang out. I put my kids to bed every night. I wake up with them every morning. So family is always going to be priority. So it will not be a frustration as long as I keep my priorities and my values straight, right? That's super, super important to me. Really important. Cool. This is from Ron. What programs and support or plans of action should we as business owners be looking at as we enter a new wave of COVID? Well, Ron, I think number one is definitely virtual. Make sure you have virtual in place. I think you should be campaigning ahead of time and being proactive in the event that we are shut down again. Understand that we are not being shut down. We as a culture are living our best life. We simply moved outdoors. We're moving virtual, and the band will play on, right? This will go on. And I think it's important. You ought to play the song from the Titanic, and my heart will go on. I think it's real important to let people know you are not being shut down. You are not being closed. You are simply making that shift. And, we've been closed. We closed already once in Millbrae, and all we did was shift harder into virtual and outdoors, right? I think it's very important not to say you're shut down, especially coming into winter. So we are definitely promoting virtuals here. As it gets colder, we're virtual. We are here. We're going to live our best life. We're cultivating that. So I think social media is going to be a big thing campaigning wise. We just put out a new commercial, as I shared with you, that shows virtual, outdoors, indoors. And if we need to recut that commercial and it's virtual and outdoors, we'll do that. If we need to recut that commercial, we're just virtual, we'll do that as well. But we are not closing. We have never been closed. We are not closed. And I think that's the big thing. And if we feed into this and saying we are shut down, guess what? People are putting up the shutters and they're closing for the winter. That will not be good for your business. And I've witnessed it. I watched a couple of my buddies in Germany simply move to saying, hey, guess what? We're virtual. See you in the next class. That's powerful. That's powerful stuff. So I would have some social media posts ready. I would have some commercials ready. I would have something to send out as a push notification via text. And I would make sure that my virtual is dialed in. Dialed in. You should be doing virtual like a rock star. We can teach virtually as well as we can live. Without physical sparring and physical contact, we can teach virtually just as well as we do live. If anything, we're going to amplify private lessons right now. We're going to amplify everything that virtual provides us with that additional revenue. Maybe do a sale on virtual private lessons, right? You can cultivate that. There's so many things in place, but don't read a freaking book, and don't do things like that. People are fatigued virtually, and if you try to inundate them with a bunch of fodder, it's a waste of time. I believe that, and that's just my opinion. I believe we should be delivering good quality content. In this case, Don, my good quality content is life skills and martial arts. And as I was sharing with my team, as I'm witnessing teaching more, we really want to put the fitness, push fitness. So in between, a drill, a technique that you're working on, throw in a fitness challenge. A lot more fitness throughout the whole class as well as the warm up, and constantly peppering them with life skills. Understand that you are in their home. That's something we've never been able allowed to do before. People come to our brick and mortar location. You were in people's living rooms. You were in people's bedrooms. You were in people's dining rooms. So do not take that opportunity to pepper them with the life skills that you offer for that added value. I think you're squandering a unique opportunity. So as I was sharing with my team, make sure that we're constantly pushing the fitness, right? We're pushing the life skills, but here's a new layer, okay? And I've been witnessing this thing here. We have AI is really blasting, right? Look at your Alexa, Google, Siri, the driverless car. You got a freaking robot vacuuming your floor. AI is becoming big, but what the intelligent parent is witnessing is that what AI cannot do is think critically. AI takes data and then it executes that data. You're creating critical thinkers, thought leaders. So one of the things we're cultivating, let's say you're working on a 3-move technique. And then at the end, I say, okay, we're going to do this 3-move technique. Then I want you to creatively use your imagination and throw on a jumping front kick at the end. Or we're working on this form. Great. Now for 30 seconds, I want you to make up your own form. Go. Right? So that type of thing where we're cultivating creativity, creative thinkers, critical thinkers, thought leaders, that's going to be really valuable to the parent that invests in their kids. I know I witnessed this here. There's so many more co-ops, so many more schools that are charter based because they recognize 1 + 1 = 2. That's fine. These blue collared workers on assembly lines, things like that, in the next 3 to 5 years, even 10, AI is going to replace them. But the critical thinkers, the thought leaders, the people creating things that with new data that hasn't been used by AI, that's going to be a huge part of the future. So if you want to really look at the future, you as a school owner should be cultivating. And I've been saying that for years. And I'm not saying I told you so. I lead the disruptors. I lead critical thinkers. I'm a thought leader. I do things differently. That's who I've always been since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. And now it's becoming more relevant as we're watching so many of these jobs being replaced by AI. They jacked up minimum wage to $16 in San Francisco. So what does McDonald's do? They put in a kiosk. So now you go like this to buy your food. But there's still got to be somebody back there making the food, assembling the food, and executing that, right? So be mindful of that. I think not only do we teach life skills, the real self-defense is going to be the critical thinkers, will be the thought leaders. And as several people have been singing in the industry, health. The real self-defense is health, especially with the pandemic, with the flu season. We know if you have a strong immune system, you're physically fit, you're going to be able to fight the flu. You're going to be able to fight pandemics. You're going to be able to fight a lot of things. So we really want to push the health aspect. So as we roll into the shutdown, and we are moving harder with virtual, look at your content, look at your website, look at your copy, look at those different things and ask yourself, am I pushing health? Am I pushing imagination, creativity? Am I promoting those life skills? Because guess what? We're in a shelter in place. How many people have to freaking defend themselves right now? Go. Nobody. And I think people are more proactive to move in groups. People are more proactive. I mean, I walk the streets here at night. There's nobody out there, right? So I think the real self-defense is managing your mindset. Suicide, addiction, domestic violence, divorce at an all-time high. We should be cultivating that type of mindset. I wouldn't say be a life coach, but you should be that person in a position promoting positivity, promoting empathy, promoting confidence, promoting hope and faith, and those things that people need. There's so much negativity and cynicism. So you see where I'm going with this? There's so much we could be doing. And if we're simply trying to spit out the same old song and dance, and I witness it, I see it all over social media, dude, that's Facebook ad for 10 new students. This is a brave new world. We should be repositioning ourselves totally. Anybody feel me on that? Good, mostly new students. Good for you, Jason. Good. Yeah, excellent. So you guys keep your questions going on the side. K1, throw me another one. Cool. How important is social media versus traditional marketing? What's been your experience in ROI? Well, we know it. I mean, it's a fact. Samia, it is a fact. Facebook has gobbled up, Instagram has gobbled up the advertising dollar, right? Traditional forms of marketing are almost extinct. And that's the truth. That's the truth. That's the truth, right? If that's the case, where's the yellow pages? There's no more yellow page phone book. Look at newspapers. How many hard newspapers are you seeing out there? And if you pick up something like, the Wall Street Journal on the street, look how many ads are in it. Very little. So yeah, I mean, we know that. We know that. Every bit of social media advertising dollar has just been gobbled up by Facebook, Instagram. These environments are just owning it. And that's not going to change. If anything, it's going to grow even more. With things the way they've been, the Facebook advertising dollar is really inexpensive. And the fact that you could look at analytics and tweak an ad and understand that this is why it's not working. So to do this and do this, it's powerful. But we still understand that referrals are the best way to get new business. What do you think is more effective, Samia? Right? A mom talking to a mom in a Zoom chat room about how great your programs are, or a Facebook ad? I'll wait for your answer. I think it's a no-brainer, right? I used to say that when everything was open. What's more effective? A mom standing at the bus stop waiting to pick up her kid from school, talking about how great the benefits are of your program, or a Facebook ad? But make no mistake, I love Facebook. I spend a lot of money at Facebook. I do. So I love it. But ultimately, going back to, what I learned a long, long time ago, you don't market one way, Samia, to 70 people. You market 70 ways to 70 people. So yes, your social media presence should be strong, but be mindful what you post, right? I'm telling my fellow school owners, stop whining and moaning about the political situation. Stop whining and moaning about the pandemic. We've got plenty of that everywhere. So when you contribute to that as a leader in your community, well, it's my job. No, it's not. No, it's not. I believe my purpose is to help people live their best life. I do that through positivity. I do that through engagement. I do that through, positive content. My new campaign is empathy, right? To understand how somebody feels and see things. Maybe that'll heal the world and help promote unity instead of the separatism that we have. And I'm getting all kinds of really good response to that, right? When we talk to our kids and we're sharing with them, well, yeah, I understand, but if we can be more positive and put a smile on our face, on and on and on. Yoda and Target has gotten me lots of views. Watch that one. I saw some guy in Target who works there, and I thought he was some CEO from a Fortune 500 company who's just hanging out, undercover boss in Target. And this guy says, no, my papa taught me, you should always smile and treat people the way you want to be treated. So on and on. I think we're in a very unique position right now. And if we as martial arts school owners can make that pivot and adapt into being critical thinkers and thought leaders and promoting the life skills and promoting fitness and helping people genuinely manage their stress right now, genuinely cultivate a positive attitude, genuinely stay healthy, we're going to be in a whole new league of our own, right? Because most recorded fitness stuff at YouTube or whatever doesn't offer you that. But we're live. Every class we do is live, and every class has that life skill component. Every class has that creativity and imagination component. Every class has those elements that I believe are going to position us in this brave new world. I hope that helps, Samia. Samina. Next. Jason, what do we have? We have had more new students from our parents' posts than our ads. Yeah, that's because your tribe is strong, right? That is your tribe. So instead of standing at the bus stop, having your parents promote you, your parents are doing that via social media. Absolutely, Jason. And I think that's super cool, right? That's super cool. That's very cool. Cool. All right. What else we got going on here? How can our business help children, teens, and even adults learn to not get their self-worth based upon the popularity of social media? That's a big one. That's a big one. Is it Stephen or Stefan? I don't want to assume, right? Did you know that's why Nike lost the endorsement deal with Stephen Curry? Anybody ever hear that story? Yeah, he went into the meeting and the guy called him Stephen. Done. He was done. And that's not a fake thing. That's actually, been served up many times. The guy in the meeting called him Stephen. And he just figured, if you don't even know my freaking name at this point, then I don't want to do business with you. And I'm the same way. If someone's trying to promote something and they want to align with me as an influencer and they call me Brandon, we're done. We're done. Because if you haven't even done your homework and you can't pronounce my name, we're done. So that's a big one for me. So I don't want to assume your name is Stephen or Stefan or Stefan. Please forgive me. So getting back to that question, I think the big thing about that is, number one, we campaign to our parents. I think everybody needs to watch Netflix's Social Dilemma. It is powerful. It is powerful. It is powerful. It is powerful. Second, we need to empower our parents. And I want to come up with a badge about that. I don't know what badge that will be yet. Maybe it will be called social media. Maybe we'll call something. But we as parents, we need to police that stuff. We need to take our freaking kids' cell phones. We need to make sure they do not have a TikTok. They do not have an Instagram. They don't have a Facebook. You want to watch a YouTube video? Fine. You want to watch a TikTok? Fine. You will not have a social media account, because I think it's appalling that a little girl right now is committing suicide, because we know since social medias came out, suicide with young girls between 10 and 14 years old has quadrupled. And social media has a huge impact on that, because some people won't even leave the house unless they have 300 likes at Instagram. And they'll post a video. How many of you have done that? You post a video, oh, I got 2 views. You take it down and redo it. Do not base your self-worth upon how many views or likes. I post my videos because I do. I don't even care how many views or likes or people that I get. But all over the years, we've cultivated thousands of followers all over the world, because we simply post content that fits our values that we believe in and that's relevant. If I had to spend my time counting my views, I probably wouldn't even be here today. But you're right. I think we want to empower our parents by creating this open dialogue, so parents don't feel like they're a horrible parent for taking a kid's TikTok account, right? They're a horrible parent. Well, every other kid has an Instagram. Well, you're not every other freaking kid. You're my kid. Well, it's just social media. No, it's not. No, it's not. And when you get to watch The Social Dilemma, I think the big thing that's happening with that, and this is important stuff now, so please pay attention, realize all this social media, Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, was created by kids who has no vision or foresight to look 10, 15 years down the road to realize the impact of what they've created is going to have on the world. So the whole movement in Social Dilemma are these kids that created Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat waking up at 35, 40 years going, did I do that? And they're more older, they have kids, and they have a consciousness, and so they're fighting it. They're fighting it, and they're creating films like The Social Dilemma, and they're telling people, please do not allow your children to do this, because it has a double-edged sword. And in one scene in Social Dilemma, this girl posts a selfie, right? Selfie. And someone says, you got big ears like an elephant. And this kid freaks out, right? So that's the impact of social media. So I think we need to be proactive. We need to be positive. We need to share with our parents that, and welcome that. I would even do a campaign. Every parent that polices their kids' social media and stands up for that will give you a t-shirt. And it is. I'm not saying social media is bad. I love Facebook. I love Instagram. I love what it does, but I'm also a mature adult. And when someone doesn't like me, I love block delete. Somebody doesn't watch my video, I don't care. But I'm also in a much more different place in my mindset, in my heart. Put some vulnerable 8, 9-year-old girl who posts a TikTok video and everybody goes, your dancing sucks. You suck. That's a different day. Cool. And I can beat that one, I can beat that one down over and over, because I've had many conversations with people, right? Jason, we just had an 8th grade in my kid's school district commit suicide. Wow. An 8th grader in my school's district, it was discovered that someone had set up an Instagram account dedicated to bullying and threatening other kids in the district. Right? And that's horrible. But the thing about that, Jason, then on the flip side, we got people screaming, you guys cannot violate people's First Right Amendment. They should be able to post at Twitter what they want to say. They should be able to post at Facebook what they want to say. But, I think Mike Tyson said it really well. The problem with social media is most of the stuff you say, you're going to get punched in the face, right? So people do it. They're those keyboard warriors, those trolls, right? And it's really weird, the warped conception of it. I've got something like 5,000 friends at Facebook. No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. I could probably go through those 5,000 people and say, I know maybe 100 of them that I would consider my friend. So it's very skewed. It's very skewed. And Jason, that's why we need to campaign for that and make sure that our parents and our kids, and we're always checking in with our kids. How are you doing? Where we should be monitoring their social media accounts all the time, if we allow them to have it, right? But it's so much easier. You see it in the airport. This is it. This is it. It's growing out of my hand. It's part of my head. It's just, and it's scary. It's really scary. So again, the yin to the yang, we have to create that balance, right? AI, people speak more to their Alexa at home than anybody else sometimes. And that's freaky. That's really freaky. And we need to be mindful of the balance of it. We do. It's kind of like Terminator. There's going to be that whole resistance who's going to fight this thing. And the yin to the yang, I think it needs to be a balance, because on the flip side, the ability to engage with you and connect with you like this is so important, especially during this pandemic. So it's using it for what it is, right? But being mindful of that. Cool? All right, next question. Yeah, K1 sharing that Apple offers great parental controls through the iCloud account. Yeah, super cool. And be looking for tools like that, because they're out there. They really are. Yep. Yep, Jason's doing it. He's one of our Kids Love Life Skills partners. I mentor Jason. He uses all my programs. But as he's pivoting harder to promote a strong life skills component, he's positioning himself with his parents as something so much more than a martial arts school. So much more, so much more. We were talking in Kids Love Life Skills about producing a virtual badge. But I think what we need more is some kind of, I don't know, online balance, social media, some kind of balance, so that kids earn badges for the limited time they spend at social media. Kids earn balance or this badge when they report somebody, bullying at social media. Kids earn these badges when they stand up for somebody via social media and say, hey man, stop bullying people, right? Because we've learned it's not just bullying in the schoolyard anymore. Online bullying is rampant. We as adults experience, right? How many of you have had a troll attack you at Facebook? Every one of us raise our hands. Well, guess what? Our kids are young and impressionable and vulnerable, and they're getting bombarded too. So let's see what we can do to support them. Cool? All right, next question. What do you got for me? Curious. How many martial arts school owners do one-on-one introductions, and why not? Jennifer, that's a great question. It really is. And I think for us, we're at virtual online one-on-one intros are rocking it. They are rocking it for us when they show up, but we know that's a numbers game. I would say for every 10 people who schedule a one-on-one evaluation with me, 3 will show up. And those are pretty good numbers. But when they do, and I can sit there and talk to people on a human level like this and look them in the eye and engage and connect and work with their kid and talk about their needs and compliment their living room and make that type of human connection, it really does supersede the virtual environment that we're doing that in, right? Outdoors, people can do a class. That works really well. Indoors, same thing. If they can experience that class and we're physically in each other's presence, it works all day, every day. And I see a lot of people now doing one, like we've always done. We do one class, right? And then after that, we roll you into a membership. And our memberships are month to month. So if it's once a week, it's $169 a month. If it's twice a week, it's $209 a month. Your first month is $99 in a uniform. Anywhere in that month, you're not happy, we don't serve you well, let us know and we'll cancel your membership, which will happen automatically the following month at $169 or $209. But I think, Jennifer, what's most important is whatever your community dictates to you, that connectivity, that's really what's more important. And how are we as human beings doing the most effective method of connecting? Some people will still swear by the 2 private intro, right? And then they use contracts and close people. Some people would say, we don't do that all, we simply roll them in. There's so many different ways to do that. So I don't think it's a matter of how many school owners are doing one-on-one, why or why not. It's asking yourself, what do you believe at a values-based level, Jennifer? What do you believe culturally is most effective in serving your potential client? Cool. All right, let's take a quick commercial break. I want to thank my sponsors, my studio, right? CRM, man. Two of them, I love those guys. I love the work that they're doing. You know, the latest update, being able to look at a client, a customer, and see their entire profile, attendance, what they bought, when they bought it, their history, everything is going to be super awesome. We know that's been one of the weaknesses of the system, but now I can simply, boom, put her their name and hear all of it. Market Muscles, they just revamped all their websites, right? And they've got tons of cool products with Lead Hawk and the different things they're doing. Steven Reinstein, Steven's going to be a speaker, one of the influencers at It's Time Live Elevate, representing social media. Stephen, Kids Love Life Skills. We've been making so much improvements in our products and the headways happening out there with Letitia, Ben, Marco, Amy, and Chris. And we moved to a subscription-based model in January, filled with social media, one-on-one conversation. Oh, God, it's just so much. As you see, I'm tongue-tied. LC Accounting, my sister, thank you. You know, she is a martial artist. She's training in Kenpo. She's training in BJJ. And she's at the pulse, man. Every day we have conversations about what's the new COVID insurance, what's the new policies, what we should be doing. And she's on the tip of it. So you need a great bookkeeper who understands COVID and everything going on. My sister's key. Key. All right, what are we looking like on time? Oh, we still got 20 minutes. Cool. Yeah, that makes me sad, Jason. You know, when an 8th grade kid wakes up and decides, you know what's the best choice for me today? I'm going to kill myself. We have failed. The school system failed. The parents have failed. The community has failed, you know, because nobody's policing. And I'm going to say policing because we need to do that. We need to do that with our kids, and we need to stay on top of that. And we need to communicate. We need to be present. We need to talk to them. We need to check in constantly. Right? How's everything going? It's okay. No, I don't want okay. You tell me what you did today. You tell me who you spoke to. You tell me what you posted at social media. I want to know that. I want to be abreast because someone should have known that room was going on, Jason. Somebody should have known that Instagram account was set up strictly for bullying. Somebody should have found that. They should have found that. And that's why I believe, you know, Big Brother should be on top of that stuff too. And I don't think it's a First Amendment right violation. I think it's a human rights violation to allow a bullying account to go up like that unchecked. It is. And that's just me. Social badge. Yeah, but what should it be called, Marco? Right? What's a good one word? If anyone comes up with a good one word for that, I think we should be mindful and create that badge. And it's one that empowers parents to police their kids' account. It's one for, you know, kids that stay off social media when it comes to bullying and all those different things. And they report bullying and they refuse to base their self-worth upon how many likes or how many views they get. What's the badge? What's a good name for that? Anybody? All right, Kayvon, give me the next question. We're on a roll, man. And we got to flow, right? We got to flow. In your opinion, how will business be different in 2021? Well, my opinion doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's different in different parts of the world. You know, Richard, right? Like we shared, I just saw somebody who said I have 350 students. Our numbers are higher than they were pre-pandemic. Here we are in San Francisco, just now opening to 25% capacity. I think business is different in different parts of the world, right? If we look at, if you're a billionaire, billionaires increased their wealth by over 400 billion during this pandemic. Yet 8 million more people in the United States went into poverty. What? Right? We've got to look at that, right? We got to look at those numbers. Don't just look at what the stocks are doing. Don't just look at how many people are back employed. You have to look at how many people are unemployed and gone into poverty. 8 million have moved into poverty. Yet billionaires increased their wealth by $450 billion. It's a real imbalance right now. So I think what's more important with that question is, what will business look like in 2021? You know, honestly, nobody knows. Nobody knows, but what we do know for sure, AI, 5G are going to dominate. They're going to dominate. I believe virtual has a huge position. Look at Zoom, right? Virtually, there's going to be a whole new audience, a whole new revenue stream, and we need to position ourselves virtually. But on the yin to the yang, creating this haven within your school where people can come and feel connectivity on a human level is going to be vital as well. That's why I believe schools that are fully open are seeing great numbers, because people are tired of being at home, people are tired of being virtual, so they're moving into that. But the yin to the yang is that person that's amplifying virtual is making huge revenue. I know we are. We're running over what, 700 people virtually. 700. That's insane, right? But we saw that. So I believe all three platforms, business wise, need to be addressed virtually, indoor, outdoor. You should be amplifying all three of those platforms. You should be investing heavily into all three platforms, as they're witnessing in Germany. They closed us. And there's people that didn't like virtual, abandoned it. We're teaching out in the park. How are you going to teach in the park when it's snowing? It's not going to happen. It's really cold, right? So if you don't have virtual in Germany, you're probably in a very tough position right now as they close you down for another month, right? All those indoor students, it stops. It stops for a month. So you're going to lose all that revenue instantly. And if you don't have virtual set up, you can't move to virtual, right? So in 2021, I believe AI is going to be huge. 5G is going to continue to cultivate. Now, as far as the martial arts industry, I believe it's going to be per your city and your community. And you really need to be at the pulse of that. And I'm not going to sit there and argue about politics, but what I will say, I've been open for 2 weeks. Our capacity is 25%. We have distance learning camps. We will have winter camps. We will be in a position in January to potentially do hybrid, and we will pivot to whatever they offer us. So I believe the people who are going to do well in business are the people that are creative, the people that are critical thinkers, the most adaptive, and the people that pivot. I'm not going to guesstimate. I'm going to forge a new path. And I really believe virtual is that. It is. And we're experiencing that. Most of our revenue is being generated virtually. But make no mistake, that adult audience is coming in. Our kickboxing classes, we had 11 people on Wednesday. That's good. That's good. That's big numbers, during this time. So we're going to keep looking at that. But I think it's also really your flexibility to keep your mind opening and constantly emptying your cup and being positive and being engaging. Nobody wants to come to a school where the owner is spewing about politics and spewing about the negativity and this and that. It's not endearing. It doesn't help. It doesn't help. So that's my thoughts. But anybody to tell you exactly what it's going to look like in 2021, nobody can do that. Not at this point. But as we're witnessing, I would follow science. Science is doing exactly, they said, look out for the winter. And everyone's going, well, and here we are. Europe's experiencing it. We're experiencing it here as we come into winter. Who said to look out? CDC said that. Everyone's going, no, we've turned the corner. It's done. It's not. So I would listen to science, because science is based upon data, and that's going to help us a lot in making some of our decisions. Cool? All right. Excellent, excellent. Next question. The parent badge. That might be good. Protector badge. Could be. Right? It could be. Any ideas for the badge, man? We'll take ideas, right? What should that badge be for the parent that isn't afraid to watch their kids' social media accounts and police that and take their cell phones and put parental controls? I don't know what that badge should be called. It's got to be called something. Next question. Man, you guys, I love all these questions, by the way. Pros and cons on broadcasting your in-person classes as a Zoom class. Somebody posted this question, and it's fundamentally, it's should you do live classes while you're doing Zoom classes? No, absolutely not. What did I say? Absolutely not. I don't care what you want to tell me. I believe we're Zoom experts. We've been doing it for 8 months now, hard, right? The majority of our revenue is Zoom. Okay. People are saying, I heard a couple of people, well, I'm at a gym and the gym is broadcasting fitness classes live, via Zoom. That's fitness. What? That's fitness. What we do, if we're going to charge full dollar, not freaking $20 a month, we need to make sure what we're delivering is optimal for that environment. And you know it. You've attended my live events. right? Where we're broadcasting live. Is it the same as this, where I'm up close and in the camera and you're all that matters? Or what's that like when I drift off like this and start correcting a student and doing praise, correct praise while you're doing your thing at Zoom? Right? Oh, yeah, okay, right? And I've seen people try to do a hybrid where they're teaching a live class and then you have a second instructor, you know, just kind of mitigating that virtual class. Why not just have two separate classes at that point? So I don't believe there is a pro of doing a live class via Zoom. There is none. You know, you're going to teach a live class virtually, period. Our live classes are taught separately. And I post that all the time. We got a kickboxing class going out there. We want to have here in our studio. Completely separate animals. If you really want to hurt what you've been trying to create all these months, now that your school's opening back up, broadcast your classes live via Zoom and expect your Zoom virtual people to be happy with that. They're not. They're not. If anything, I want to take that virtual environment, Eric, and 10x that, amplify that, find out ways how to do that better. And that was a discussion we had. Keep more fitness throughout the class, right? Keep the life skills more throughout the class and promote the creativity and critical thinking throughout the class. Those are the three things we're going to amplify. As we come into winter, people are indoors and we might experience another shelter in place. Cool? Marco, I'm sticking with social. It can cover both social media and being social with people, a life skill so many kids and adults are missing these days, how to socially engage with people. Okay. Sentinel badge, that could work. Marco, as part of my team, don't be married to anything. Let's run all of this up a flagpole. Parent, social, sentinel, protector. Let's run it all. And then we'll make that decision after we come full circle. You know why I say that, Marco? I had a #1 album in the Philippines. This hit song I wrote in 5 minutes. Then I think I spent 2 weeks doing this. Play it this way, write it that way, do it this way, blah, blah, blah. And after 2 weeks, I came back to center. And it was the same song I wrote to begin with. But had I not exhausted all of this, I would not have the confidence that this song I wrote in 5 minutes was a hit. Cool? Everybody should have that type of thinking. Makes my team crazy. We'll come up with something, then I'll ask it 50 different ways, 50 different questions. We come right back to center. And I think that's smart business. It's smart business, right? Otherwise, you make some knee-jerk choice, and then later on, you're going to regret it. Cool? Cool, cool, cool. Next question. Games in your karate class, do you play them at the beginning or the end, and why? Jeremy, good question. We play them at the end. The last thing you want to do is end your class with a life talk or a mat chat. And I know the strategy is, well, parents are coming back in to pick up their kids. We want our parents to hear the life talk. Well, we want to end on a good note. Remember, the last impression I had was playing dodgeball as a kid. I want to come back to your class. If the last impression I have is you doing a 5-minute talk, I don't want to come back. I don't want to come back. What you need to be mindful of is we do our life talk in the beginning of class. After the warm-up, the stretch, and the meditation, then we're mindful throughout that whole class. One-liners about the life skill. One-liners. So if it's focus, pay attention, right? Look with your eyes, listen with your ears, think to remind you the right thing with your body. You know, we do our life talk in the beginning, 1 minute. Boom, in and out, where they're answering finishing our sentences. But throughout that class, one-liners. Susie, I like how you're looking at me when I'm talking. Make sure you look at your parents when they speak to you. Kick, punch, kick, punch. Johnny, you did that move right away. Awesome ear focus, sir. Make sure you listen to your teachers when they teach you. Kick, punch, right? And of course, when that parent walks in from being outside, we highlight and spotlight their kid and go for it. I love how you're really thinking about that move. Make sure you think about, you know, what your parents ask you to do and do it right away. Dad holds up his coffee going, yep, that's what I pay you for. Kick, punch, kick, punch. Please end your class with a game. End with a game. And don't hesitate. You know, sometimes when you're drilling a technique, you can witness the energy level start to drop. Boom, throw in a game. Quick 30 seconds. Jump back, you know, into the technique you're drilling. Yeah. I think what it's really more about, the better question is how do we teach our instructors and ourselves to be mindful and present for the whole class to recognize when the energy drops to get it back up, right? How mindful are we to deliver one-liners throughout the whole class? How mindful are we in the placement of doing the life skills talk at the beginning of the class versus at the end, and making sure they walk out of that class high energy with the life skills we're teaching in place, right? when class finishes and kids are putting on their shoes, walking off. Awesome eye focus today, Susie. Make sure you're looking at your mom when she talks to you. See you next class. Johnny, that ear focus was rocking, buddy. You were doing things right when I said so. Make sure you do things when your parents ask you to. See you next class. That's the mindfulness that I want to implant in my parents because it's culture-based. It's based upon our why of living your best life. You feel me on that, Jeremy? Hashtag I feel you. Anybody with me on that? Cool. All right, man, I think I've answered all the questions. We're close to the end of this thing. Please post your questions in the comments. On my social media, you can find me everywhere, right? Everywhere. But I'm a yin yang guy. As much as we need to police social media for our kids, we as businesses need to be everywhere on social media. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe to our Disruptor group page. Go look at the files in the Disruptor group page. There's hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of content there. You could be mining for your school that goes unchecked. Just the instructors in training document that sits in the Disruptor group page. Oh, man. Subscribe to my Instagram, my LinkedIn. You know what you didn't put there, K1? My Pinterest. I got tons of great posters that you can take in Pinterest. And you're great. I'm grateful if you use it to promote the culture of your school. Go to my Pinterest account, the Disruptor group, my It's Time mentoring. We're wrapping up 8 months. December's the last month. We start a new cycle in January. Every one of you should sign up for my It's Time mentoring group. Inexpensive, affordable, and it will give you the skill set you need to not only be a successful school owner, but an entrepreneur as well. Events coming up, It's Time Live, Elevate, and all the It's Time webinars. If you go to brannonbleaser.com, I have tons of great e-learning products that can support you. The one we need to get back up right now, K1, is how to earn 550 online virtual students. We need that. Send it to all the people in Canada, right? Send it to people in Europe. If they're not running virtual at that level, right, like a finely tuned race car, then they're going to be in bad trouble because they've been running live classes for the past couple months. And then they're going to shut down and deliver this mediocre product because they went into it half-heartedly to begin with. I know when we were shut down in Millbury after 3 weeks, it was seamless. All those kids that were coming to live classes, boom, there they were back in virtual because the product we're delivering virtually is equal to what we're delivering in a live class. That is why we're getting paid top dollar. That is why when I hear that question, what do you charge for virtual classes versus your live in-person classes? Wrong question. The question should be, how do I deliver the same value virtually as I do in a live class? Enough said? I think so. And in this brave new world, that shift in that mindset needs to be embraced fully. You can't see it, but every wall is whitening because this is my green screen. And when you watch my Zoom, we've got, killer lights. We have killer everything. We have everything we broadcast is professional at that level with a green screen. When I see guys still using their freaking iPhone and they prop it up at the corner of the floor and the lighting's horrible and they sound like they're, 50 feet away. I'm just like, please, no wonder you're failing virtually because you're doing it halfway. And kudos to all my clients in Germany that have been running virtual the whole time that just simply went, shut me down, virtual, open me up, live classes. You got to have that adaptability, right? That's a big one. That's going to be one of our new badges next year. Adapt. Yep. Questions, post them in. We've had lots of cool people on this event today. What do we got, K1? What are we giving away today? Did you even post that? What are we giving away? It's Time Live. What? See, I throw K1 off. You can't handle it. There's no slide on this prize there, buddy. Oh, we're giving away Dead Space. Yeah, look at that. Look at K1's prize slide. Look at that, folks. K1 is not getting brownie points. Look at that. Look at that. It's a white slide. That's what we're getting. Oh, so he throws that weak ass corner 1 month group. That's it. That's what we get, K1. Come on, man. Pivot, adapt right now. All right, so that's what K1's putting there. But I'm going to do one better. What we're going to give away today, we're going to give away the one-day event for It's Time Live Elevate, the virtual event. That's what I want to give away. Sunday, November 15th. But I encourage you to Add on to that and get Saturday, because Saturday, those first 4 hours of really creating that mindset and deciding, what do I need out of Sunday? Don't be a freaking information taker. You're going to come with the clear takeaways of what your action plan is for Sunday, and you're going to mine the information you need from me, Stephen Reinstein, Josh Arsamon, and Min Wilson. You're going to mine the information, just what you need to help yourself be successful based upon your terms. Roland says it really well. My buddy Roland Osborne. We're drowning in information. We're starving for wisdom. That wisdom is the clarity to know, what information do I need, right? I'm not going to hire a roofer if I want to bake chocolate chip cookies. But if I don't know I want to bake chocolate chip cookies, I might darn well talk to a roofer and waste all my time and money and information on a roofer I don't need, when what I really need to do is talking to, an expert on baking chocolate chip cookies. You feel me? So Saturday is going to be 4 hours of very intensive mind mapping, vision questing, creating that mindset, and really trimming away the weeds. So Sunday we walk in with clarity. These are the things I need so I can take actionable steps when I walk out of this event on November 15th. So what I'm giving away is a one-day event for Sunday, but you should add on Saturday. Cool. Conrad, a technical question. How are you handling virtual students hitting targets for not hitting targets in training? We have fun with that, Conrad. We have a lot of fun with that. I when I do intros, one of the fun things I do with the kids that's super, super powerful, and it does dividends. And of course I tell them, don't hit the pad. But when I have somebody on camera and we're highlighting in spotlight, and I sit there and hold the pad like this, and I go, okay, I want you to hit the pad. Ready, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, hit the pad. Boom. And they knock back. I go, whoa, how'd you do that? You got super ninja powers. Cool. Okay, when you see the pad, I want you to hit it. Here. Where is it? Got you. All right, hit the pad here. Got you. See, it's more about that, because what's the purpose of this pad, Conrad? We're developing focus, right? We're developing focus with that kid. So what I want to make sure is that through my language, through my visuals, through what I'm doing virtually, I'm creating that. Now, the other thing I can do, Conrad, is I can use their room. Looking at their room, I can say, okay, on this technique, you got to do the front kick towards your dresser. Awesome. Now I want you to do that block. Do it right towards your closet door. So utilizing, what is the word for that on a map? Markers. Right? Markers that you can utilize in their room, because what we're trying to do when we use targets, for me, it's focus. Now, if you're talking about power, then, we understand that what creates power? Speed. Form and technique creates speed and power. So if I get someone to do a move fast, it's going to be stronger. See, there's things we can supplement, right? Well, they need to hit a heavy bag to develop power. Yeah. I understand that, but they don't have a heavy bag in their house. So what can I do? I can say, okay, ready? You're going to punch faster than me on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, punch. I was faster than you, right? And work speed drills, right? And if I do, what creates power? Proper foundation, so that I can get them. Okay, whose stances is lower than mine? Now throw the punch as fast as you can. If they're in a proper position, they're throwing the technique properly and throwing it fast, they're going to generate power, right? The fact that they don't have a bag in front of them. So Conrad, I think there's ways to do that. And I hope those are some tips to stimulate you and get you thinking. Cool. Oh, we're almost out of time. Who else has a question for me? What I'm hoping out of this today is you take this recording, you watch it again, and you share it, right? There's so many people out there. I can't believe 40% of the schools are closed. And I can only do what I can do. I've been here from day one with you. Cultivating content, making mistakes, sharing my mistakes, sharing my victories, every step of the way. I think it's appalling 40% of the schools are closed, and we need to change that. So take today's video, share it. Take the information you learned from me, share it. They say to teach something is to learn it twice. If you want to become great at social media, take this and share it with somebody. Have conversations, right? Create that dialogue. This disruptive thinking needs to be there. I can't believe they're still trying to put the same bow on old stuff we were doing 2 years ago and selling you it, right? Selling you it, because it's not going to be the same. And there's a whole new audience that will not go to your freaking trunk or treat. They simply will not come into your school. They're petrified. There is that audience. Call them a snowflake. You're never going to get that audience. You know what? I look at it, that's a whole audience I can mine Because how many people can you know right now in your community? Put it in there. Conrad, how many people in your community will only do virtual? What would you say? Marco, how many people in your community will only do virtual? Right? Anybody on this? Put it in there. Don, how many people in your community will only do virtual? Put it in. I would say at least 25 to 30%. And if I hear that you're not doing virtual, guess what? That's my next Facebook ad. Yep. I'm coming into your community and I'm going to take those virtual students that you refuse to serve because they deserve to be served, right? Conrad, see, 35%. Boom. So Conrad, if you're not doing virtual better than me, guess what? I'm running ads in your community and those people that you're not serving virtually will now become my audience. You feel me? So be mindful that of you guys, you need to step up your game because that's 35% of people you're not serving. You're not serving. You should be amplifying virtual because guess what? When this thing blows over and the days are cool, that virtual student you've been mining, that data you've been mining, Conrad, he's coming to you. He's coming to you. But if you simply dismiss it because you don't like virtual, I can't teach power virtually, whatever the case may be, you're going to lose them. You're going to lose them. And now that we're virtual, we have people studying from Oregon. We have people studying with us from Germany, Florida, Canada, Australia. We have people all over the world. Won't come in at all? Yeah. So come on, you guys. Don't lose that. Don't lose that audience, right? And I'm in California. That makes sense. I'm not catering to Florida for karate classes because the time difference is ridiculous, right? But we can do kickboxing. Virtual kickboxing works all day, every day. But there's a certain student that's going, time's up, pencils down. Your beginning class is at 5 o'clock. It's freaking 8 o'clock here in Florida. My 6-year-old is not doing virtual. We're in Germany. It's 2 a.m., right? On and on. But in your time zone, be mindful. There's students all up and down, you know, this time zone, Pacific Standard Time, that we should be mining. If you're in whatever time zone that you're in, you should be mining that data, mining it and going after those students because it takes all three formats to be generating revenue. It simply does. That's why we're outdoors, we're indoors, we're virtual. It takes all three platforms for us to make the revenue even close to what we were making before. And I can gratefully say we are having our best months at both locations that we've had. Nobody's having its best month since freaking February. Wow, that's awesome. San Francisco is having its best month since June, but June was that big uptick in summer classes, summer camps where we were charging $500 a week, 3-week minimum because you had to have that social pod. See, and remember, we only have what? 50 students coming into live classes between two locations. How are we doing that? Because we've consistently earned the trust virtually that we're here. And we've consistently got better at it. Outdoors, we've been consistent. So that word is getting out. The referrals are coming through, and we've been running consistent Facebook ads. Consistent. Cool? Yeah. And we talked about your how to do your bell testing as well, Conrad. You're in good shape. Just keep mining that social, that virtual, because it is a platform we cannot deny. Please. Cool. All right, so let's find our winner today. K1, who is our winner that gets a one-day ticket to It's Time Live Elevate? The winner is Jason Horde. Sir, you got a one-day pass, man. One day to It's Time Live Elevate on Sunday, November 15th. I encourage you to spend the extra money and get Saturday as well. Right? And we've got a really cool limited edition Disruptor t-shirt. I'm so proud of it. It looks cool. And it's one you want to wear. Please, if you're not part of our Disruptor group, get on it. Get school owners. It's got so much content. You guys who are disruptors, go into just the files alone. There's so much content there for you to mine. Rotating curriculum, right? Everything is there. Just mine that information, but make it based upon your values, your vision, and your why. Because of what works for me may not work for you. And as I say at the end of all my things, don't listen to me. Don't listen to anybody. Be brave enough to figure it out for yourself. Be brave enough to make mistakes and take ownership of those mistakes. Cool. All right. Let's thank our sponsors, My Studio, Market Muscles, Kids Love Life Skills, and of course, LC Accounting. Thank you to all three. Yeah, congratulations, Jason Horde. Yep, you got it, man. Thank you, Disruptors. Give them some love and congratulations. Thank you to my sponsors. Boom, 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 boom. My studio, Market Muscles, Kids Love Life Skills, LC Accounting. Who's coming to our event? It's Time Live Elevate, the virtual event, November 14th and 15th. Who's coming? Who's coming? Right? And a lot of people don't know Min Wilson is the COO of Encourage Martial Arts. I think they have 5 locations. They're doing over $4 million a year. She also owns a Top Kick franchise with her husband, and she's a mom of 3. Talk about empowerment for women, but what a smart woman. I learn from a lot from Min every time. She's one of the gems in our industry people don't know about. Josh Arsamond, Hero Martial Arts. People think, well, he's only got one school. Hey, that guy owns the commercial complex that his school is in. He owns several multi-unit family apartments. So he's parlayed his money. He's a smart guy. He's going to talk to us about being the hero. And Steven Reinstein, Market Muscles, he's really going to give us the social media angle we need to face 2021. Of course, yours truly. It's my most ambitious work. I'm pushing all the boundaries. I know I'm going to fail in some of the things I present, but I'm going to go out there and do it because we need to be mining new data, new information, new ways to face this brave new world and be successful at what we do. Done deal. And I'm ready to commit to that as I have from day one. Cool. Thank you, everybody. This is Success Never Sleeps. I am who? Brannon Beliso. Until we talk again, folks, what are we going to go out there and do? Live your best life.